Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are, our beautiful family. We're here back for another collab with the amazing Richard. Yay, I'm really excited today. Thank you guys for joining us. We love you guys so very much. And today we're going to be diving into kind of the histories of all the different holidays and really diving into how we can look at transmuting that energy too. Because I think a lot of these holidays, especially with Halloween coming up, we're going to start with that one in a little bit here. But so much of them have been inverted nowadays, and there's just so much lower, darker energies that are attached to them. So I would love to see kind of what comes out of the cards and the ball and see what perspectives you have as well, Richard. So thank you guys for joining us on this fun episode. And yeah, and Richard had a cool idea for a new name because this is our third episode now, and we plan on doing many more of them as well. So we have come up with a really cool name as well. Did you want to share a little bit about that as well,
Well,
Richard?
thank you, Breanne, my beautiful sister. You look beautiful today. Your hair is flawless, just like Cheryl Ladd was in Charlie's Angels. Thank you for existing. And greetings, beautiful Golden Femi. We hope to find you in great spirits these days. And yes, we have wrapped our minds around this because we are kin, Brianne and I, and we absolutely love coming together, not just because we get along so well, but because us as two oracles, when we come together, what we're able to shine light onto. And this end, we decided we need a title segment for our future collaborations. So we came up with this. Tell us, do you love it? We are double.
Vision. Yay. And it was so perfect because as we have our crystal balls here too, we have double the vision with both of
Double
our crystal
vision.
balls as well. So I think that's just a beautiful synchronicity that came through today.
Yes, yeah, well, because we have vision, do we not? This is what we like, like with our clairs, we can see into the ball, into the cards, tap into higher self. So it's double vision. Plus, it's also a rock song from a band that I really like called Foreigner. It's not heavy metal, it's rock and roll, but it's a great song. So double vision, we are.
Yes, double
Yay!
vision. I love it. So yeah, we hope you guys are all doing fabulous. I mean, to start too, I mean, it's kind of interesting when we look at, Halloween coming up here too. And, for myself, I mean, I have a daughter and we've always, for the most part, grew up celebrating holidays, right? And it's kind of interesting because over the weekend we have in our local area down in Vancouver, we have what's called Fright Nights as well. And it was really interesting to go there. And I mean, I love the fall, I love the Halloween. So it's something that I've had to bring awareness to as well, right? In terms of where we're giving our energy. But it was interesting to see after that, even 4 hours of just being around this lower energy of like eating crappy, the
Mhm.
horror and the way it's really projected. The next day, I felt just completely drained, and I had a really off day yesterday, so I had to spend a lot of time just cleaning and cleansing and kind of like grounding myself. So it was quite interesting to see how much it really pulled my energy down and just being around so many different people too. Did you have anything you wanted to share with your experiences as well, Richard? Or
Well, yes, of course. And this is a very good topic that you're bringing, Brianne, because, at these festivals, there's a part of us, a part of our inner child that loves roller coasters or love being spooked or scared. But, as all of us were awakening and getting more enlightened with awareness, we kind of realized that this is kind of an energy sucker, right? Like a loose farming. Very much like going to a concert. Like you get excited, you yell, you scream, you cheer. So it's an energy exchange with the rock band and with the spectators. So it's like a loose farming. So in these places you went, the Scare Factory, I think you called it.
yeah, it's called Fright Night. So I mean, yeah,
Okay.
we have the actors that run around with chainsaws and go through haunted
Yeah.
houses and stuff like
Yes, I've
that.
seen those on YouTube
Yeah.
a while back, but they could be very fun. But that's like actually like a loose harvesting
Yeah.
because the height, like I mean, being scared and screaming, like that is like a really high energy level that they harvest and feed off like a buffet à volonté, right?
Yeah.
And I've had an experience just recently. Yes, I'd love to share this. So I had a very dear, dear friend of mine who's also an oracle and had a dream recently on Friday that she dreamt of me. And in the dream, she saw that I was being under attack by some kind of negative, parasitical, archonic kind of energy. And the energy was all around, well, gross things, right? Like, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say these words, but RAPE and stuff like that, which is all nothing that is Richard, right? And we're talking. Like, what did you do on Friday? Because there's an attachment. And I said, oh my gosh, I clicked. I watched that new series on Netflix called Monster the Ed Gein Story. I was curious. I know his story, but I had nothing to watch. Let's see how the acting is. And the story of Ed Gein is exactly just that, right? He would unbury and then use, like, it was gross. By watching it, I kind of attached that energy to me because I did not say, like, an incantation that I'm well aware of. I am here to observe and not to absorb. I did not do that. I was tired. I just went play and let's look at the acting. Well, so I gave energy and it opened a portal and something. So that attachment is now gone because we exterminated it.
Yes.
But unbeknownst to me, right? Like I put my energy into something.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And then when we consciously choose to, like you say, just observe it and not attach to it, I think that's an important part
Yes.
because sometimes we kind of just get caught up in what we're doing and we kind of forget about those important parts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I think that's very important as a message, Brianne, to our family,
Yeah.
like to be mindful. And, I should have known better. Like, I don't watch these kind of things anymore. Growing up, I did. I loved horror movies. I
Yeah.
even went to Hollywood and I made like 5 horror movies.
Yeah.
But that's just not Richard anymore. But see, the cat got curious,
Yes.
like,
Curiosity
why
got the
did I
cat.
do that? Yeah.
Oh
But
boy.
I learned, now I know better. It's like, I'm done.
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think these things sometimes they come up to give us a kind of that nudge to say, hey, like we can learn from that too. And now that's something that is more in your awareness if you choose to,
Yeah.
watch something in the future. So
Yes.
very, very
Yeah.
interesting. Thanks for sharing that. Because yeah, it really does tie into looking at some of these holidays and how they've ritualized, especially like I said with Halloween. There's been, mass inversions and sacrifices, especially in on that dark side. So it's a
If you
dark
look,
one.
it's dark. Well, all of them are pretty dark. I mean, hello, hi, mom. My mom's
Um,
staring at me through the window,
love
like the boogeyman, right? Like in the movie Halloween, Michael Myers.
that. Yes.
But what was I saying before I saw mom?
You were talking about, I think, Christmas too. Like all the holidays really are. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, all
absolutely.
of them, if we look like, and it's very easy to Google it, if you look at the satanic calendar, I mean, all these hollow days that were originally holy days, but with the inversion that happened, turned into hollow days, that we are here to bring awareness to like to return it, perhaps, hopefully, into a holy way of thinking in celebrating, right? But if you look at that, like calendar, the dark calendar, there's a lot of like gross things that I don't like to talk about much anymore, but
Yeah, yeah,
related to little ones, and
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
absolutely. And I
yeah.
mean, I feel like for today, the purpose too, we don't have to go into all the deep darkness of it, but just
No,
bringing some awareness to it and looking at how we can actually utilize this. Because I think that these are still very powerful nodes and dates that we can go with inside, especially, jumping kind of all over the place here. But for Christmas, looking at, the claws and that secret as secretion as well in the colostrum that goes down our vertebrae as well, and that's that illumination. So I feel like maybe we can talk on that a little bit, or I can give you guys some perspective from my end on that. So I think it's interesting to see different dates, and we can utilize them for the light, right? For the positive, and not focus on draining and sucking the energy like a vampire, right?
Because originally it was made in light, and then the inversion came, and while we were celebrating it, the darkness was using it to harvest the loose energy while they were doing naughty, naughty things.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, but originally it wasn't dark. Like, I don't even celebrate my birthday anymore because I saw the darkness. So I just like, I don't do New Year's Eve, I don't do Valentine's Day, I don't do my life day. But, in meditating, it's like, Richard, it's like, actually, we can take back what was corrupted. As you all know, Femi, like, I'm taking this back. It doesn't mean the devil, it means I love you in sign language. As an example, it's time for us as sentient, awakened beings, and we are all one. What happens when we all gather and like hold hands? Like we can move mountains through sheer will, and it's beautiful. It's finished the separation,
Yes, I
you
mean,
know?
absolutely. Like it's so crazy how powerful we can become with just coming
Yeah.
together, right? And that's where I think we're headed. Like I've seen more and more of us standing up and coming together with unity, and it's going to change the systems and the corrupt. So I mean, they're still pulling all of that crap out, and it's going to take a little bit of time from my perspective, but we are headed into a beautiful energy.
I agree, and I see in the next decade it's going to totally flip around
Yeah.
because all the children that are born today, well, in the recent now amount of years, are all crystal children. And these ceremonies or holidays is simply not resonating, and we can transmute it, like have a different song or a different way of thinking. But again, I'm going ahead of my time. We're going to go over the holidays,
Yes.
well,
Okay.
together, sister.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
why
Mm.
don't we I think you have a beautiful beginning invocation that you wanted to share,
Yes.
and then after that
Yes.
we can dive into start with Halloween.
Yes. Okay. Beautiful. And so, yes, how we're going to play it today, Femi, is because we are divine feminine, divine masculine. So I will open the opening invocation for today. And our sister Breanne, the beautiful Breanne, is going to do the closing invocation. So today is going to be a little bit like tag, you're it. Do you love that?
I like it.
All right. So are you ready for my invocation, my lovelies?
I sure am.
All right. We call upon the original light of these days. We stand at the threshold of time and tradition, acknowledging how the sacred was once inverted, how fear was woven into festivals of joy. Today, with clear eyes and an open heart, we reclaim the holy from the hollow. We honor our ancestors without feeding shadows. We bliss our children without binding their light. We gather not to condemn, but to illuminate. As we speak, may every ritual be remembered in truth. And may our words help transmute the old spells into living blessings.
Beautiful. That is fabulous. It's so beautiful. I love your invocations. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh,
Stunning.
thank you.
Stunning.
You're welcome.
I love it. Hopefully it's not too I noticed there's some yard work going out with
I
lawn
don't hear
mowers and
it.
stuff. So hopefully it's not too loud over for your guys'
No,
end.
no.
Perfect. That is stunning. Thank you again for sharing that, Richard.
You're
I
welcome.
love it. So I guess we can dive in. I guess we'll start with looking also at the energy of Halloween and kind of how we
Mhm.
can dive into that. Because again, going back into the past, like the origins of Samhain as well, and from how I see it, it was never meant to be this dark satanic situation as it is, been used and inverted for so long. But it is the mark of the end of the harvest and the thinning of veils. So it's that kind of collaboration point. So when we look at that, I feel like also with the Celtics as well, and the Celts viewed this as like a timeline, a reset of timelines as well, right?
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna pull a few cards on this as well and see what energies are coming out. But I really see looking into the depths of also Halloween, are looking at the energy of it with being a dimensional gateway as well, and in that sense of like Hollywood and that data bleeding between dimensions, because you have that lower astral realm where it comes to over times the centuries of like inversions. With I feel like the churches have changed and kind of labeled certain things in terms of like
Mhm.
Hollywood and the mass, like the horror movies to the gore, etc. And also like kind of jumping forward though too, looking at all the energies behind all these certain holidays and the weighing down of the processed junk, like candy, and looking at the accumulation of putting all of that junk in our body. It's interesting too because we can see it as like, yes, like fear being amplified during those frequencies if we choose to partake in that. But
Mhm.
there's also a big message, like with my oracles here. It's interesting. I have a bit of a cat Halloween deck, and in my situation, I have the vampire in the situation. Now, this isn't an actual tarot, but this is an oracle, and it shows the sense of people using this energy or the between the veils as well, with the siphoning of each and every one of us if we choose to allow that to happen, right? So going even back, I mean, in the Samhain they use like bonfires, right? We've got the bonfires, and it's more of like an alchemical transmutation here of like the death and endings and rebirth into renewal and potential, and it's really just been distorted over the years. So I think from the true origins, from what I can share, it's more about reclaiming, I feel like, soul fragments as well and connecting to our ancestors. So it's a big time to kind of protect also our energies, because the outcome is that four of pumpkins there. And if we look at it as Halloween coming up as the king of pumpkins or king of pentacles, to me this is seen like the treasures. It's really being an earth-based wealth holding archetype, and it's been inverted with all the consumer and commercialism of it, right? Look at people going out and having parties and drinking, and it really just brings us down. So it's time for us to like wake up and know that we can absolutely use this with the high priestess to be in
Mhm.
touch with our higher self, with our, the call to our inner self as well. So I see this as being the observer and not kind of allowing ourselves to dive into the lower vibrational aspects of what Halloween is today. So, I mean, I could probably keep talking stuff too, but I want you to give your perspective as well. When we also, I'll just kind of conclude too with what I can say here is, if we look at how we can utilize this energy properly too, I feel like really grounding ourselves, because this is the pumpkins. For pumpkins, as my outcome is grounding our bodies and grounding ourselves into the root. And first setting that intention to decide exactly, are we going to connect with our ancestors, right? Our true lineages when it comes to that, and not, it's like focusing more on a container, like short focused intention, because that's that containment as well. So it's more of a, I feel like an unconsciously sometimes we give into the spooky vibes and the fact of keeping us kind of
Ah,
bound, because
yeah.
there's that Eight of Swords, but we have the ability to transmute and anchor ourselves into truth with connecting between the veils during those times.
That's beautiful. Did you want me to look, or you
Yeah,
saw
I
something
mean for
else?
sure.
Oh,
I
you just
mean,
saw something
like we
else.
can there's so much stuff when we go into like the histories as well, but I mean
Huh.
it's really I mean from what I can share too, it really originated from that Samhain where it was that calibration point and moving into the future, how it's been kind of commercialized by the mainstream and just a lot of these like kind of satanic things, which is also a big time where lots of sacrifices happen, and that's that energy of those sacrifices happening.
Yeah,
So
the eight, right? That was the eight.
yeah, the eight.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, you know, I mean, the overall energies, I do think that this is a time and a doorway where we kind of like meet that light and we can use it for a lot of ancestral wisdom because there's that high priestess and the judgment. We just have to learn how to kind of contain and not give our energy to the siphoning of that vampire, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let me look. So this is going to be like tag your wit, right? So
Okay.
Marianne's going to read cards, and then I'm going to look into the ball. And on the next one, we're going to flip it around. This is what we are called double vision babies. All right, let me just get a little light here because I need a bit of light. So let's look into Halloween. Hmm. Yes. All right, so I do see a trapment that came in because it's showing itself like the head of Baphomet. So we all know that face, right? So it looks like a dragon, but it's not a dragon and has a pentagram around it. I see the two eyes, the snout, the ears forming a pentagram. I see on top of the head also a cage. So it's a square. It feels like a cage, like being boxed in, and that's on top of Baphomet and the pentagram. Yeah, I do see a distortion. So everything, Breanne, that you tapped into, like how it originally was, which was a very, very good thing, right? It wasn't about being spooky. It was because the thing is there's a lot of spirits going around right there. And while the veil is thin, because I do see the veil and it's a separation and it's a very smoky, skinny, like smoke from incense or a cigarette. It's very, very the veil there. And by going around, so trick or treat, smell my feet, ding dong, trick or treat. So there's like that kind of it's a ceremony that is there, right? It's it entraps and it opens also vulnerability, almost like we are an open channel for energies to attach to us.
Yeah.
And then the next day after Halloween, it's still attached and you're unaware. And as you feed on the sugar, the candy, which, like you said, is like really not good for us. But these parasites are feeding on it also. It feels like, that disease that starts with the C that feeds off sugar.
Mhm.
But we are indeed able to break this with awareness. So, like I said in the intro, like I don't celebrate any of the holidays. Now I might, but I must be aware. Like instead of going as ghouls and witches and all that, why not, like you said, celebrate our great ancestors and go out as beings of light, of off-world energy, right? It doesn't have to be fear because that's where the chains, your eight of swords came in. That spooky feeling, that dreary. And yes, the energy feeds off it. It's total loose. I'm seeing like, wow, I love dragons, but it's presenting to me as like a nefarious dragon over a lake that is misty and drinking in the mist or smoking like the biggest cigarette or cigar you've ever seen. And that's what we do on Halloween night. So that's what I see. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, so I mean, really being able to take back our power, because it is, I think, a doorway where we can absolutely connect with our higher selves and our ancestors that come in, but it's just consciously choosing that time. So I think it's great. And also, though, kind of sidetracked here, but looking at how, lots of witches also practice their magic at that time. And I've heard a lot about, you have these children taking candy from strangers and you don't know what's being prayed over that food because it does hold a vibration. Then
A
there's
vibration and plus sometimes razor blades.
yes, yes, it's quite crazy to hear some of the awful things that happen out there too.
Hmm.
So just being able to be conscious, I think about that about Halloween. It's not saying that you don't have to like shut it out completely, but just being conscious of your decisions when you partake in it, I think would be a really big key to illumination for sure.
Absolutely. And I did write little light codes for every holiday that we're going to mention. Can I share it? Like how to transmute?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I
Yay.
yes,
I came prepared, family.
I love it.
Yes, yes, yes. Richard wakes up really early in the morning. All right, so let me see here. Light code replacements. So for Halloween, what I came up to in my meditation for you, Femi, is tonight we dress not as monsters, but as ancestors of light. We walk our neighborhoods as living blessings instead of bargains. Trick or treat, a bargain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. I love that so much.
yeah.
Fabulous, fabulous. Yeah, so we wanted to also kind of go over a couple different holidays as well. So this will be more of like, I guess, a condensed, just going through some of them. And
Yes.
yeah, if you
Yes.
guys are interested in something more in depth with something certain then or specific, let us know, and we're always open to that. Did you want, so we're gonna look at, I think, Christmas as well.
Hmm.
Did you
Yes.
want to, put your, are you doing cards for this one? Or
Yes, because tag your it, right? So we're going to switch. I think that's just a fun recipe,
I
right?
tag.
So, in regards to Christmas, right, or Yule, as we call it, there's a big thing here. The theme is all about commerce, but it should um, so what I mean by commerce is that we go out shopping and then we lift our credit cards up and put ourselves in debt. But I mean, like all this, what is it about? The whole significance about the Christmas tree itself and putting the garland around it, right? And the star at the top and the offerings under the tree. Well, I mean, I think that originally how it was made to be as a holy day would be like being thankful to is it what do I want to say, the tree of knowledge or the tree of life and the roots and the life. But in the inversion, right, it became like a method to give an offering in loose energy to Baal. Because a long time ago, this is what you do. You give like, I don't know if it's your firstborn, but then you hand is it a goat? No, it's a bull. God in front of a fireplace, and he take so it would represent a lot of that, right? In what we're doing, unbeknownst to us, that would have been the hijack, something very beautiful to celebrate. Then it's that kind of offering. That's where the inversion came in. So we're not aware of it. We're decorating the tree and we're putting like it would be like our firstborn under the tree and we're having fun. But like that's the loose energy that we're putting whilst them on that specific calendar. What are they doing around that day? So it's like a collection of harvest. It's like using something that we all celebrate worldwide, because pretty much everyone will celebrate these holidays in one way or another. Maybe not all religions, but basically more, than half would. And we're giving out those energy while they're doing naughty things, and it's a harvest thing, right? Do you agree,
Yes, for
Brianne?
sure. Yeah.
What else would you like to add something to that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, when we're looking at the at this, like this is such a big topic too. But like the original code is really about that spirit descending back into matter and ascending back into source. So what I kind of linked to it as well is looking at, I mean, an overview of like Santa Claus and looking at the claustrum because we have what I'm not sure. Um, how familiar you are with like the Christmas or the holy oil, and we have that secretion within inside of us. And when we look at that as even like Santa coming down the chimney is representing the vertebrae. So we have that vertebrae is coming down, but that oil, the secretion goes through like the medulla oblongata and goes down our spine into our solar plexus or sacrum as well. And that's that sexual energy. So it's about, I feel like, alchemizing it and like having it go back up to the heavens. So sometimes we um, kind of unconsciously like release that energy, but if we can utilize that and have it come back up, huge illumination can really happen during that time. So it's like looking at it from a point of like the breath work through fasting, or also that sexual transmutation and raising it back up through the spine into the brain as well, and huge illumination. So it's like the claustrum and Santa Claus, and the same thing for like, oh, I feel like we could go into depths with so much stuff, but even looking at like the Christmas tree and, bringing in the whole like Krampus and going way back into the ancient times, how they would have, instead of a bag of presents, they have the children being, look at the, oh my goodness, what is that one song, oh, you better watch out, you better not cry because Santa Claus is coming to town. And like listening to the words as well, it's like that push to, hey, you have to be good, or, they're watching, but it's technically that Krampus energy that was coming to take children away. So I feel like it goes into like quite a big depths, but I think a really cool part is looking at that Christ oil because it's the illumination inside of ourselves, which is very symbolic as well. So, um,
There's so much you're saying right here, like
oh,
mind blown.
I know.
So
I feel like we could do like a big Christmas special and
we
probably
could
go.
do like a whole video on each subject, really, because we're just touching the basics so that we don't make it a 3 hour
That's
video.
what that's what I mean.
But Breanne, I mean, so are you talking about like almost like the Kundalini rising when
Yeah,
you're talking?
more or less.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's certain cycles as well. There's certain cycles when I think, we got the winter solstice and that matches up with the 25th. So it's that secretion that comes down and it will come down our spine. And if we don't, release that energy, we can bring it back up and huge illumination has happened. So I would love to kind of like talk a little bit more on that on like a bigger episode, and maybe we can dive.
Let's do around December on Double Vision, a special like Christmas edition.
Yeah, yeah, let's do that. And then
Okay.
I'll kind of plan a bit of stuff as well to we can try to go into more of the depths of that.
Because you're saying so much, like coming down the chimney and all that, that all resonates. And the song, all the songs we've been saying, Ring Around the Rosie. I mean, what is that song all about? It's like a death song. Come on. It's
Yeah.
like everyone dying
Yeah,
from
we
what
all fall
disease?
down, right?
From what was it? Not polio, but they caught Ring Around the Roses.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like getting sick, and that's why you all fall down because you're dead.
Sick.
And we're all singing that.
Oh my gosh.
You better not cry. That it's everywhere.
It is.
And Santa Claus, Satan's
Yes. Looking at
claws.
I forget the actual terminology, but it's like when you take even the name, like if you have the front letter and the last letter the same, it rearranges it in your brain. So subconsciously, you're looking at it as Satan, say Santa.
Yeah, and he's dressed in red.
And red, I was just gonna say that. What color is the devil? A symbolism of red, and we have
Yeah.
that red energy and within Santa's outfit. But there's so much inversions as well, and I'm like, yeah, really looking at even how we go let our children sit on the lap of some random person to have their picture taken. Like what?
What is that? Here's my child. Have fun.
Yeah, and then if you
And
also do a little bit of like looking at the art from back when they have Krampus, they have him in the horns and they have like children on his knee as well because it was like some kind of also a sacrifice. So there's so much depth to this one, and again I feel like we're just touching the surface,
oh,
but
I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. But again, like what you said there, Krampus, and going back to the bow and offering before the pit of fire,
yeah.
like it's all related. I'm making the
Well,
connections as we speak. Yeah,
exactly, because it's almost like the presence, like the for nowadays, we're all focused on the external, the materialistic presence, but the presence is like
yeah.
Santa coming down the chimney is really the present is that secretion. It's that holy oil that comes down and anoints us. So it's like anointing us with Christ consciousness.
And that's where we're bringing it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
All right. So do you want me to look into the cards?
sure.
All right. So in regards to everything that we are talking here, so let's see. In regards to the whole Christmas conversation and how we can transmute it or turn it around, perhaps, to what the hijack was, from what it originally was with the hijack. We are all blinded. And you know what is funny? Christmas represents the color scheme is green and red. Green and red is very aggressive on the human mind. That's why Freddy Krueger, his shirt was red and green because it brings distress. So I wonder if that color combination was brought in to like some kind of distress somehow, or to make us not see the true. I don't know. There's something about that combo that I'm seeing into right now.
Yep. I think you're dead on with that too, because what's interesting is I have a few cards and I have a bit of a different colored deck, but in the original, it's the red and green that's coming out. So that's a really interesting
Yeah,
as
there's something with that color scheme. I just saw it. All right, so the first card that I get is that this is fast moving, guys, with the Eight of Wands. Very fiery, a lot of information. We're talking about Christmas. So a lot has been coming down. A lot has been coming down. A lot of information coming down the chimney. The Christ oil coming into very rapidly in order to make us self-made, sovereign, very independent with the Nine of Pineapples. So originally, you were absolutely accurate with, I don't know the word you said, but the Christ juice.
yeah.
And then we have, look who came in with the inversion. That creep, right? Krampus,
I was
hello.
gonna say, there he is.
Then we have, but now look, we're able to transmute. This is coming back from war victorious, being celebrated with being able to being aware of this and changing it. Hold on, at the heartbeat, we're taming the beast by the mouth with awareness, awakening. Again, I don't feel that any of the children that were born in the last few years will resonate to the way that we used to celebrate holidays. They're crystal children. They're going to say, this makes no sense. We're changing it around. We're changing the song. We're changing the ceremony. You guys have been stuck into a matrix, and it's not your fault. You were corrupted because of the mind. You were hypnotized, green, red, like seeing in 3D, right? So there is something very magical happening here. Yes, because the children are going to help us have a new day, a new dawn with the Page of Wands. This is one of high hopes, a new tomorrow for the future. Yes, we got generosity coming in. So we got all our off-world energy also that is very present. Cups are emotion filled to the brim with flowers that is thriving, it is growing. Then we do have, we're moving out of troubled waters with the way of the inversion of the hollow days. We're going back to holy days. And we end with, yes, because that's it, religious figures, the powers that be that were corrupted. And also double whammy, we're all becoming spiritual masters right now. We're all online. So it's a two-way, and that's Isabella who helped me see the Hierophant, not just as a creepy crawly governmental royal card, but also that us we are mastering and becoming teachers of spiritual aspects. So that's what I got, my
I
love.
love it. And I love the last Hierophant card too, because I pulled a couple cards and I got quite a few similar ones, especially
You're
with
supposed to do the crystal ball.
okay, yes, yes.
But no,
Right.
no, please bring
Well,
your cards, baby.
I did see I was getting like the energy of the steps, like the vertebrae as well, which what I was getting in there, but I always love my tarot cards.
Yes, yeah, yeah. No, no, please say your cards and after your
No,
ball.
no, I'm not going to go into the great detail, but I absolutely agree with some of the energies you got as well. And it's interesting because when we look at when we and I can see, I know it's my light, but to me it's an illumination of the sun from what I can see. And with the Empress and Christmas as well, it is the Empress bursts the sun, which matter gives to the light. And we look at a massive illumination with also the star as well. So nowadays it's been, like you said, it's hollow, and I have one card that's in reverse, and this is an overindulgence and a sense of a hollow, it's a hollow satisfaction, right? It is
Empty.
an empty, and it really is about pleasure that will not nourish. It's a hollow pleasure. So when we look at that, the sugar coated, over shopping holiday, but we can take that again, that Christ consciousness, that oil. I think it has multiple different names, like the chrisma or the holy oil, chrismos, and it can really illuminate with the star. And when I see the crystal ball, I can see my big sun. Actually, look at that. The sun is there too. It's an illumination. And we talked a
Hmm.
lot about, you talked a lot about the children having a whole new perspective as they come into this world. So I wouldn't be surprised if holidays do change their blueprints into more genuine, authentic energies in the future as well, because it's really inverted with all the overindulgence in every single aspect, right?
Well, everything here was inverted, and now these crystal children are going to help us awaken and see, right? It's not judgment. I mean, we were all trapped into the same inversion, but these crystal beings are there to help us as we are turning to crystalline template and DNA.
Yeah.
So, they're like pounding like boo, boo, like a frequency that helps us. You're around them, and then you get like awakened, you get cleared. It's like a disperser. It removes the old programming, maybe like
Yeah.
it's a vibration.
I think so as well, because it looks like too, like tons of different threads, and it's like it's
Yeah.
the hidden energy here is showing the consciousness that can really be rediscovered in our own radiance during this time. And I feel like this symbolic energy is like going within, because that illumination is going to bring so much conscious awareness as well. So that's quite beautiful. And
Yes.
did you have a light code for our Christmas?
Yes, of course I do. You know I do, baby. Let me put my eyeballs on. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Light codes. So for Christmas, beautiful golden femme, we lay our gifts under the tree, not as offerings to time, but as seeds of gratitude at the foot of the living world tree.
Yay!
The end.
I love that. So I
Got
love
you.
I was like enamored by I was like
I
listening
love
and
it.
then
I
the
love it.
crystal
No, no,
ball
do
like
your
ooh.
thing, baby. I love it.
That is fabulous, my friend. I love it. So stunning. Um, we were going to also now we were going to talk a little bit on Thanksgiving as well. And I have to say, I'm not extremely knowledgeable in the history of it, but I was able to look a little bit, and then I would love to hear your perspective as well. But when we look at Thanksgiving and the energy of like it giving, because I just wanted to pull something up here, because what I was looking and researching, it was back in the day also celebrating these massacres when it comes to the theft in the native lands as well. So it's more about taking, and it's been like inverted less, it's been inverted to more take and not necessarily give and be of service. And it's quite interesting because when we look at in the modern day culture, it's all about the overconsumption and not really truly offering. And that gratitude comes more of like as a performance, I feel like, and not like an embodied reciprocity. So, interesting enough, I pulled some cards here too. And I think we can really gain a lot when it comes to like reclaiming and understanding the history. And that's why I love all the topics we're looking into today because I wasn't super familiar with the history of some of them, right? So I'm like,
Mm.
oh, this is going to be a really good learning lesson for me to bring a perspective to diving a bit more into depth of our history and really looking at the indigenous nations and also Mother Earth and Gaia as well. So some of the cards that I have here is interesting enough. We have the holiday coming out as that Four of Pentacles, and that's all about possession and holding on to resources, and also linking that up with the massacres with the theft of the native lands, right? So wanting to hold on to that. Look at again, we have the Ace of Pentacles in the center, and even nowadays, it's all about overindulgence in food, and also is it not Boxing Day, Black Friday? Is it Black Friday? There's
Well,
also a
is
big.
that around Thanksgiving
Is
or
it?
maybe
I feel like there's a
two of them?
yeah,
Maybe around
maybe I'm getting
Christmas.
them
Maybe there. Yeah, I don't. I
mixed
never
up.
go there, so.
But that's why it's all about like, okay, how can we just take, right? It's about taking our resources and our money as well. But we also have the situation as the Eight of Wands, and this is fast moving energy, and it reflects how the holiday and how people kind of move forward, and I feel like not look inwardly with what it really means to be giving and be
Mm.
just beautifully connected. It's more about the hustle and the bustle and go and the external sense, which is what we need to really bring back to our center and say, well, how can we come together in unity? Because I have so much like external cards coming out, so there's so much external like push and pull to get us to pretty much keep giving, and for these greedy corporations to keep taking and taking, right? So it's about seeding new ideas and looking at the integration of opposites with the chariot as well. But this is kind of giving balance and receiving when it comes to mutual respect, and also respecting. I keep getting like Mother Earth during this time too, like giving our respects back to Gaia
Mm.
and our connections to her, and not necessarily just the whole, overindulgence with food and weighing ourselves down. Because how good do we really feel after we have like three plates of
Not
dinner?
very good. Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like a lot of it is energy harvesting too. So, if we look at the collective and the indigenous people and really come back to our center, and have that beautiful energy that we can share with the community versus the more materialistic, overindulgent side, right? Yeah.
Beautifully said, my beautiful Breanne. And again, each topic, we can actually do a whole show on it. Maybe we should do that every time that there is a holiday. We'll do a special
Well,
on that
focus.
holiday.
Yeah, I like
Include
that.
it
I
would be
like that.
worth it because this is gonna like this could be like a 3 hour show the way,
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to see like how we
right?
can kind of work around just giving a bit of an overview of it. But I think it's fabulous, and I love that idea.
So what I got also for Thanksgiving is that the outer actions of Thanksgiving is exactly that. Eat turkey, a big feast, family gathering, and football. Now, let's talk about football, right? What happens on these ceremonies, these coliseums, because a football looks like a coliseum, and we can go like way back to what days, the Roman days and all that, when you pit a fight and all that. But what happens underground? Well, all these people come together and celebrate, and we eat the turkey and we watch it, and turkey makes you tired and sleepy, right? So what happens underground, those networks, again, we're talking about the little ones, so it's very important to be very aware of this, Femi. Now, the hidden energetic imprint. So it was originally made, okay, Thanksgiving, for gratitude and harvest. But then when it got inverted into colonial myth and overconsumption, as you say, Brianne, and the turkey, a sacred bird in native cosmology, becomes a mass sacrifice centerpiece. So energetically, it flips gratitude into gluttony,
Yes.
sedation. Without awareness, it programs taking rather than giving,
Yeah.
right? So let me see what I can see into the ball because tag, I'm it.
Thank.
All right. All right, so I am seeing exactly that. I'm going directly to football. I'm under the stadium and I'm seeing all this network, all like, I don't know, I guess limousines can go underground. I mean, they must have big tunnels, but I'm seeing a lot of expensive vehicles, a lot of black limos, a few white ones. They're all going to like a gathering. They're being escorted out. They're going, they're escorted, they're brought into okay, I want to not see that anymore. You know where I'm going.
Mhm.
So while people are indeed at home eating that centerpiece of the turkey, look, guys, I'm a vegetarian. It's been for 10, 12 years. I don't judge anyone who eats meat. I just want to kiss them, not eat them. That's me. But what I'm seeing here is indeed like, because the turkey, I did not really know until I meditated and got that it would be a sacred animal to the native cosmology. But I do see that it is, and it does feel like mass sacrifice. And that's, I'm being brought under again the Colosseum, what's happening there with people of power that are not good.
Yeah.
Gaia is changing all this, Alex. She's very vibrant. She's showing herself as a big, glowing diamond. And this is reaching out to all our hearts. And in consequence, we're glowing, we're vibrating. So it's like, and getting light. And people are being more aware. So this is it, huh? This Thanksgiving, it's called Thanksgiving. So we think we're giving, but we're taking. So it's going back to the real traditions of what it was, where it's thanks, gratitude to nature, to, I guess, the harvest, I guess you would say. Can I say that harvest?
Yeah.
Like for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
There's a lot of angelics around right now around this. And I see them in the vision is like, how do I explain this? I know it's going to sound funny, but it's an angelic showing me the image. Pretend I'm a plane giving out chemtrails, but it's an angelic giving out like a trail that's not a chem, but it's like a cleansing, almost like a glitter trail, like a cleansing, a purifying. You can pull a few cards out, like also like at what I'm saying, because this is really funny what I saw about the angels and their trail. If you want, I'm not trying to be
Yeah. No.
bossy, my love. You're my sister. I
Absolutely.
love you. Yeah. Yeah, and then I see again that Baphomet hand here, but now he looks like a goat. Okay, so it's less like a dragon. He actually looks like a goat. I'm being shown, I don't know why. What was that cartoon that came out about 10 years ago? Screaming Goat, something goat, and you had Obama and everything in it. I've seen that cartoon. I forget. Goat, little goat, screaming goat. And it predicted a lot of spooky things. But I'm seeing it with the pentagram, but it's being dispersed right now. There's energy all around it. And yeah, coming in fast. I see the turkey now. The turkey, I don't think, do turkeys fly?
I don't believe so. Do
So they hop, right?
I think? Yeah. I don't
I
think.
don't know.
I don't
Because
think they
this,
do.
I see a turkey coming down, like, I don't know how that works. I always thought that they were too fat to fly. Well, there's something different with turkeys. This could be a symbolism or a representation, but coming down like a flight. What would that mean?
Being down a flight. Hmm. Could be like coming down, like the raising the, like lowering the frequencies down if consumed.
Oh, oh, my sister, I think you got it. Yeah, I think you got it. Did you get some cards, or what do you see in the ball, or what?
Yeah, I did pull some cards here as well, and it's interesting because again, as you said earlier, you were talking about how you don't eat meat, and absolutely, there's no judgment against anyone who
Oh,
decides to
of
do
course
that.
not.
I do consume meat myself, but it's been something that has been coming up in my everyday life quite often lately, and it's more about I feel like it's and it clicked when you said you see that turkey coming down. And there's something about it's just consistently like battling within our systems, and it's not it kind of holds our vibration down. It's not that raw essence of the living food or
Mm,
vitality, I guess we can say. But I see even moving forward when we look at the momentum of again these certain holidays and the hollowness in terms of consistently not like more so taking, we are moving into different grounds, and there are renewals with this as well with the star.
mm,
So I mean, when we consume the turkeys as well, it's like there's that heavy energy, the Knight of Pentacles. It's the slowest
mm.
moving card of the deck, too, from my perspective. And it's like we always just feel so weighted down after we indulge in these, but we still continue to move forward and do this again and again.
And the
So
leftovers.
I know, right? And then we have Christmas, and then there's, New Year's and celebration and indulgence again, and then Easter and etc. And it's just this cycle. So it's kind of like trying to stand up and break the cycles as well. And for us who want to be consciously aware of where we're investing that energy, it's very much possible to move out of that because it's a hollow
Ah.
victory, right? With that five of swords there. Um, but I guess that's what I could share there at the moment. Again, I agree with the whole moving towards more, not even just because of, I mean, again, not judging anybody's diet or how they want to move forward in their life, but if we move more towards also more alkaline foods, it's been a big topic in my life because there's so much acidity in
Acidic.
our body.
Yeah.
And that's where all the mucus and the weighing down. So I made just a quick moment too. It's so interesting. I made this juice yesterday or the other day, and it felt so alive. And it was just like field cucumber and the little lime, the key limes with a tiny bit of pineapple, and the juice felt alive. And you just
Alive, yes. Like crystalline, like gold,
yes,
repairing,
right?
igniting. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So interesting.
No, that's beautiful that you share this, right? Because so that would have been a smoothie.
Yeah, well, just doing a
Okay,
juicing, right?
okay.
But yeah, and you mentioned too Mother Earth and her energy, and there's that Empress. So I feel like she's playing a big role into waking up and shaking.
Yes, she is.
And as she awakens, her children will also move forward, and a lot of us are going to be able to see things from a new light, I think, as well.
Because like the way I see it again, like it's the mass sacrifice of the turkeys, and the turkeys, what I was shown is that they are like not worshipped, but they are sacred to the native cosmology. And well, if we're going to break that down, what happened to the native and that whole corruption. It's really, really spooky. And I know that Gail, it's like anything that is tortured is not going to be permitted. And we don't know. We buy the turkeys at the store, the grocery, Walmart, whatever. But like how they treat these are sentient beings.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I don't think it would have been like the way that the natives would have like to like survive and they bliss and they thank and
Yes,
free
exactly.
roaming and this is not what happens. It's a torture show.
And we don't know how these, certain companies are treating the animals, and that
That's what I
imprints
mean.
on the
Yeah.
food, right? And then we consume the
We
food, and
consume
we
it.
consume that energy. So it's a really big topic. I think that's a very good point as well.
Although we can bliss our food, right? I don't know if you do that,
I
Breanne, but
do. I do. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
So I
especially
bliss everything.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
especially with water, like
Yeah,
programming the water. And I
yeah.
think it's a phenomenal way of, making sure, even if we are consuming meat, just being able to say thank you for providing and nourishing my body, and being able to,
Yes.
put your intentions over that food is very key.
So I'd like to share with you, Femi, just what I do because, I find it should be simple. So I usually do the same kind of blissing. This is Richard's personal blissing, and I do it over my cat food. I do it over my water. I do it over my food, over the water that I bring to my mom's Keurig machine. So, like say it's food. I bliss this food with love and light, and I remove all toxins from within. This I declare through my higher self, my oversoul, and the universe. And so it is. Hey ho!
Yay! I
And
love
with the
that. It's
intentions,
the
it blisses
intention.
there.
It is huge.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, that is key. Absolutely. So I think that's phenomenal. Thank you for sharing that.
Welcome, my sister. So, would you like me to bring a light code for Thanksgiving?
I would love that.
So, here it comes.
Right.
All right, we break bread in conscience gratitude. You flipped your hair, I love it. Honoring all beings, turning the table from taking to true thanks. The
Yay.
end.
I love that. Very beautiful. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
All right. So I guess we're on to, I guess, chatting about birthdays now, and that's,
Oh,
a
yes.
big timelessness spell as
Yeah.
well. So, diving into, birthdays here. Let's see. I'm taking a look at,
Breanne,
yes.
can we pause for a second
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
continue after?
Okay, I'm just
Do you
gonna,
mind?
yeah, no, that's totally fine. We'll be right back with you guys. All right, we are back, family. Thank you for
Thank
staying
you.
with us. And we're gonna kind of continue here. We're gonna chat about birthdays and then we'll kind of group after that. So, did you want to start with the birthdays today?
I would love to, my sister Breanne, my lovely one. So, birthdays, I call them life days as opposed to being birthed into like a cycle, right? I mean, like we are born and then they take a bit of your blood under your foot, I think, or your footprint, and how it is all that. I think originally they'd send it to the Vatican, a piece of your blood, a prick, and your footprint. I think, is that how it worked with the
I
Vatican?
wasn't even, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So,
there was something about that. And then you'd have your birth certificate. So you were put into the system. So every time that we have a birthday is, we come together and we celebrate with that birthday song. And like we discussed earlier in threes, right? Threes is always a ritual of grounding or closing a ritual. But that birthday song, right? When you have everyone that comes around you and they start singing with the cake and the candles, what it is, it's like reminding that you just had 1 year, and it's actually a spell to make us age, being aware of being born, growing to dying. So it's actually like a siphoning of our life force, the gathering, almost like a carve-in, unbeknownst to everyone, but it's a carve-in. And that specific song has got some spell casting into it, and then you blow out the candle, so you snuff out your light, and you age. And then the powers that be, they consume that because they are soulless, they're not sentient beings, so they have to feed off a battery, which is us, who are sovereign and light beings. But what I got around birthdays, Brianne, is exactly that. So you have the candles on the cake, make a wish, sing a chant, and blow the candles out. Candles originally were once actual offerings to the gods for protection on one's natal day. The chant is an old classroom spell, good morning to you. Rewritten, making a wish, then blowing out equals sealing the spell into the ether. Unconsciously, it can act as a ritual, of fixing identity slash age and looping you into the solar return contract for another year. Conscious rewarding can shift it into a blessing instead.
Wow. I think you said that beautifully. And I know it's so interesting to see like that is all about rituals. I mean, we turn off the lights, we stand in a circle, we chant happy birthday 3 times. So
Yes.
when we look at it too, like it's interesting in the crystal ball, like I'm seeing just the glimmer of, to me, they're like speckles, or maybe it's a representation of stars, and it could represent that celestial signature. Again, when we come back to, that specific day that we were born, right? So it's that celestial signature on our blueprint. But it does seem to really have like a big veil of us buying into these systems that, oh, I'm another year older, and oh yes,
Mm.
the body's, old
Aging.
now, so I'm feeling crappy, right? So we buy into these systems. So it feels like it's like also this time to contemplate and recalibrate. But if we look at the spark of the candles and the soul spark as well, we can use this still by, I feel like, celebrating this day internally and seeing it as a recalibration instead of like, oh, I'm aging. It's like, no, you're coming
Mhm.
back to your source and I guess your 0 point where you can recalibrate yourself into the new cycle of your life. So I'm just seeing lots of beautiful like speckles of stars. And I feel like this is also, if you look at the cakes are round, right, to represent the sun or the moon. So that's the interesting representation of the cakes too. Um, let's see here. And again, when we look at getting gifts too, it's that validation, and it becomes kind of that consumption of, again, feeding the ego, I think, and
Mm.
overindulgence in cake, which is again sugar. We do the birthday parties and we hop all the kids up on their sugar, and it just becomes kind of, I think, this doorway of being susceptible to, I guess, psychic leaks where other energies can latch on, as you were saying, because they need to use us as their source of battery. So that's a big key in there as well. So I think you touched base on that quite strongly. And the candles are like our spark of light too. So
Yeah.
I really see that as coming together and connecting with our spark. So we can really look at it as a, yes, it can have that effect of like so-called aging us if we buy into that system. But if we reclaim our own power and choose to celebrate that as a recalibration for a new cycle, it could be used in beautiful ways for sure.
Absolutely. We can even change lyrics. Like instead of that happy birthday to,
I
like we
love
can
that. We
change
can
it,
have like
you know?
a different like mantra to really boost up
Yes.
our energy versus like, bind us in some kind of a ritual or a spell, right?
That's
So I
it. Like
like that.
glorious life day to you. And instead of like maybe do it 4 times, like have fun, be creative, reorganize. This is what this new like era is. It's creativity. Step out of the box. Be a rebel. Be creative. Break a rule. Be a misfit. A good one, but be just that.
That is so
Rules should be
beautiful.
broken. Who made the rules anyways? And why did we follow? Why did we listen? Right?
That is so true. I mean, we just blindly follow these rules, but we can really
Yeah.
make our own. Make your own rules.
Yes.
So beautiful. Oh my gosh. We just love you guys. And I would love to
Oh,
hear your invocation for that as
well,
well.
I need cards. Don't forget tag I'm it.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh my goodness. Tag, tag, you're it. I'm getting ahead of
Uh,
myself.
it's a new concept that we came up
I,
together,
I
right?
do love
So,
it. I do love
yeah, like, I think it's going to work out fine. It's a little longer, the video, our beautiful family. This is why we had more holidays, hol holy days. But we're going to make a part 2 on it because we're very aware that this is a longer video. So, and I think we're going to do, my Brianne, like maybe a special edition for each holiday turned to holy day as an episode, like say Christmas.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I love that because then we can dive a little bit more into the depths of it too, and maybe
Yeah.
figure out some kind of more specific questions and touch base. So I love that idea.
Yeah, and you had so much to bring, with your Christ oil and all that. Like, there's so much to unravel with there. And I know all of them, like, each show could be an hour, like, each topic.
Oh, for
All
sure.
right, higher of Oversoul in Universe, what Breanne said. All right. So, in regards to we're talking about birthdays. So, what do we have here? The King of Pentacles. So, we're talking about, like a birthday celebrating the King of Pentacles, the King of Pineapples, the King of Finances. So, being abundant, it's your birthday. So, we're celebrating you because you are the king or the queen of the day. Then we do have, see, this is it, that chanting, that celebration has kept us very uncomfortable, unbeknownst to us, with the hanged man, but we're being enlightened here. Also, double whammy, that spell casting kept us into this loop, if you want.
Mhm.
And mom's here bringing me, thank you, a smoothie. You were talking about
Oh,
smoothies.
how
I'm
amazing.
still filming, Mom. Thank you. And then see a tower moment. So this is it, huh? Like this is a double whammy. So we're celebrating our birthday with the King of Pineapples. We've been uncomfortable, and it made us uncomfortable, draining our light with the hangman. And now a tower moment. It actually crashed into us like lightning, that whole ceremony, but also being aware it's crashing that ritual to the ground. So it's really a double whammy reading. I am because yes, if celebrating that made us stuck, blind to what was really happening with the information of the Two of Swords at the heartbeat. Okay, so it was about generosity. Okay, so all that. So being generous, where the meek will inherit the earth. So being uncomfortable, being blind towards the action of celebrating you and giving to you. And then we have, yeah, see, it was all a mystery. What we think we were celebrating, with the seven, it's the seven or the eight that the seven of cups. We don't really know what we're doing or what we're singing. We're really unaware, right? It was a form of spell casting. There's so much here that things are really unclear for the future. So yes, see that this is it. All that celebration would, this is like sleepless night, exaggerated stress, but it's of the mind, right? So it's playing with the mind that you are aging year after year. Oh no, don't tell me I'm going to reach 50 years old. My life is over. It's playing with the mind, but it doesn't have to. That's why it's exaggerated stress. If we break that ritual, this is not necessarily legit, but it does do that with your mind. Then we do have a strategy here. So we can definitely break the ritual and then across to another portal with the Three of Wands because we've made the conscious awareness to not follow by example of the ritual. We're being more aware. That means that we've made the plans of the change that would have been the Two of Wands, but with the three, we're aware, we're awakened, we've made a decision. I am here to observe, not to absorb, and now we can cross the portal to another dimension there where perhaps we don't have to age because of that cult song.
Yeah.
The end.
I love that. And my like one energy, like you said, crossing to that youthful
Fool.
energy and that reset too, right? So we can see that as an annual solar return and resetting our energy and recalibrating instead of identifying with having to age and become old.
Oh,
So that is beautiful. I love what you had to say.
thank you. Wasn't this fun?
This was so much fun. And I mean, as Richard said, we still have so many more we want to go through, but this is going to be quite a long, lengthy video.
Yeah.
So I think it would be fun if we approach this from doing like each holiday and doing more of a deep
Yes.
dive in the future. So maybe we'll reconnect again and plan for a Christmas one because I think that would be incredible.
Yes, I think so, Breanne, for double vision. Like we tried something today, something new. We thought we'd be able, because I kind of surprised Breanne this morning because I wake up like at
I
5
seen
a.m.
that.
and
I'm like, oh.
I got an idea. What about this? And I didn't think it would be this long. So we still had more holidays. But yes, we're just going to do, instead of doing a part two with the other ones, how about we just go like a big one for Christmas, a
Exactly.
big one for New Year's.
Then we can
What's after
do
that? Easter.
Valentine's.
Valentine's, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big one we can touch
Um,
into
yeah.
indeed.
So we have tons. We have a whole year planned now.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? But I think it would be cool to dive into them a little bit more in depth and then we can go deeper with each one. So I love that.
Yeah, and you guys, for me, you can tell us in the
Yes,
comments if
let
you
us know.
love that concept. And I'm sure we'll do more videos. It doesn't have to be about only this,
That's true.
but I think we're in the age of awakening and, it's good to know. And we all make our own decisions because it's all free will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But we are all one. All of us are one. We're all different aspects. And again, when we bound and connect as opposed to being separate, we again move mountains. That's creation. That's creating. Yeah.
You got it. And we're able to break all of these old artificial
Ah,
energies and timelines. So
it's
that's
so
so
done. Ba, ba, ba.
exactly. Yay. I love it. Did you want to share our last
Oh,
did you have
yes.
a light code for birthdays?
Yes. And then I think you got to close an invocation for us, my
Yes.
beauty. All right. So for the one for birthdays, we sing a song of vitality and timelessness, celebrating the soul beyond age, blowing candles to release light, not to bind it.
Beautiful. That is
That was
stunning.
good.
Very good. And two, I have a lovely closing statement here as well, invocation. So I will end with as we close this circle and we send light into every day, reclaiming the sacred rhythm of earth and the sky. May every festival be restored to joy, every song to blessings, and every offering to love. And the mockery ends where the memory returns. And we are the living priests and priestesses of the new calendar. And may our world today ripple outward and awaken 1,000 candles of truth. That was beautiful. I had so much fun and I really enjoyed having another chat with you. You are fabulous. I just love you and your energy. And thank you for all our family that have come and joined
Yes.
us today, came to join
That.
us.
And we love you all so very much. Breanne, sister, thank you for having me on your show. And I'll be looking forward to our next one. And Femi, we love you. And don't forget, you are all the rock stars out there.
Yay. All right. We love you guys so very much. And until next time, bye for now.
Mwah!